Hi, I am Claire Hathorn, and I am here interviewing your two main hosts, Cailyn Hill and Jachian Dunnaville. Welcome to Semicolon Sound Out. So how did this whole idea start?
The whole idea started when my mom came to me one night and she said that one of my friends had taken their own life. And this kid I knew, he was like the happiest kid in the world. He was joyful. He would talk to you. He was so smart and he was so nice. And no one would ever suspect that, he was struggling, that he was going through something. He never talked about it. And that's when I knew that that mental health is something that's not talked about as nearly as much as it should be. It's in schools and communities and homes. It affects families and people across the nation and globe. And I wanted to do something about it. I wanted to talk about it because I didn't want what happened to me and my friends and my family to happen to someone else. So I knew I couldn't do it alone. I knew that I needed help. And I knew people that could help me, which was you and Cailyn.
So what exactly is Semicolon Sound Out?
So the Semicolon Sound Out is basically a talk show where we will have people on and talk about mental health and all of the things surrounding it, just to open up the conversation and provide more information and sort of an outlet for people to go and be able to feel like they're not alone.
How do you feel seeing the struggle within our community, especially people our age?
It really hurts my heart because I empathize with a lot of people and I know how it feels to be at your lowest and to feel like there is no light at the end of the tunnel. But a lot of the time there is, and I want to be able to show people that, but it's not always easy and you don't have a map of how to show them the way out of a dark time. And I want them to know that they aren't alone, but I don't know how to prove it to them. And that's really the hardest thing, is feeling like I'm not doing enough.
When I look around and when I talk to people at my school and I hear their stories and some of their issues, it gives me a sense to want to do something, to want to help them, to talk to them, to want to just tell them that it gets better, that they don't have to do this alone, that they have someone to go to when the times get hard. I want them to know that there is help. I don't want them to feel like they have to do it alone.
How do you feel about mental health and suicide being joked about and being so normally joked about every day?
I feel like that's happening because people do not want to tell others how they feel. Either they don't want to seem like they're less, or they don't want to feel like they're bothering someone about it. I feel like people joke about it so they can cope with it, or sometimes use it as a call for help.
Absolutely agree with that. I'm guilty myself of saying like, oh, I'm, going through another depression spat, or, like, oh, I'm going to go kill myself, as just a defense mechanism almost. And I do feel like I'm one of those people who uses humor to cope, but I am trying to get out of the habit of it because I realize how harmful it could be to people who are actively struggling with it, even though I do actively struggle with it. I'm trying to be more aware. But yeah, I do really see it as sort of a call for help, or as just a way of expressing it without knowing how to properly express it.
Yeah, I struggle with that a lot too. And I feel like it's because our friends do it so much to the point where we do it too, because I am also guilty of saying that. Like, I think every day, I don't go a day without hearing someone joke about it. And it's honestly really sad because it's not something that needs to be joked about, because it is a very serious topic. What are you looking forward to accomplishing while you are a host of this talk show?
I am looking to accomplish spreading the message out there that there's help, and I'm wanting to listen to people. I'm wanting to hear their stories. I want to hear their opinions on what they have to say about it. I want to know what they think about mental health. I want to know how it affects them, how they've learned from it, how it's affected their lives and people around them.
I can't top that. I mean, yeah, I want this to reach as many people as possible and to show people that there is a light at the end of the tunnel, as I keep saying. Like, it's so important that people realize that mental health is not something to be ashamed of. I'm really just looking forward to reaching out to people and having them reach out to me and say like, hey, I really enjoyed this episode, it really helped me, and being able to connect to people, even if it is just through the screen.
I want one person to say that they had a good day after watching the show, because that's always what it's about. The next person, at least one person, is reached to. One person knows that they are help, that there is help, that they have something that they can go to.
So what has been y'all's personal mental health battles?
My biggest one is thinking I can do it all alone. Like I can take the whole load, the whole weight of the world on my shoulders alone, that I don't need help, that I don't have to reach out to anybody. And that gets hard. It can really take a toll on one's health.
So I've personally been diagnosed with anxiety and depression for about 3 years now. So I've been learning to live with that and overcoming all the obstacles that it's put in my way and just sort of adjusting to life outside of it. But I have recently learned that I am not just my illness. I can overcome it, and that I'm more than that.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of the Semicolon Sound Out. Tune in to the next episode where Jachian and Cailyn will be interviewing me. And go check out our social media and like and subscribe this video and comment what you thought about it. Bye!
Bye.
Only 25% of our viewers like and subscribe.
Orders, help me.
Ow!
It's raining,